All right, kind of a gloomy, overcast, drizzling, rainy day, but a big day, an exciting day for the cow herd. We're closing just a few gates, getting everything ready to move them around, get them out here on this nice, lush triticale and clover pasture that we planted last fall. Again, you're gonna see it's a pretty exciting day, maybe about like Christmas morning for these girls. They've been eating nothing but hay, essentially, or mostly hay, for the last 4.5 months. All right, so everybody's looking pretty darn happy, it would appear, about their new pasture. Sadie also included, but have a few stragglers that haven't quite made it back here in the bottom yet. We'll get them in here. Check on these ladies throughout the day. Need to get their mineral feeder moved. When we get into springtime, have these lush forages all of a sudden available to the herd, especially when they've been eating hay all winter. We do like to feed what we call a high mag, or just a high magnesium supplement. Helps to combat a condition known as grass tetany. These 3 heifers can't believe it. They're like, is that grass? Really? I'm almost afraid of it. Come on, y'all. And there's a lot more down there. Come on. There we go. Off to graze greener pastures. It's been so long. 4 whole months since we've seen grass like this. Not sure if we should eat it, roll in it, just frolic and play. You know, there's a lot of folks that obviously love the saying, everybody's heard it, the grass isn't always greener on the other side of the fence. Today is certainly not one of those days. Cows are funny and sometimes silly animals. These 3 kind of pushing around, fighting on each other over those few blades when there's all this grass. It's free for the taking. And the crossbred heifers still aren't sure what to do with themselves. Ah, now they found pastures. Yeah, I imagine the first spring day out on green pastures again to them is about like Christmas morning. All right, so we're down here at our other pasture with stocker calves and getting ready to turn them out. Got just a little more fence I was going to check real quickly before we let them out of their pen. It's not quite as big and lush as that winter annual mix, that triticale there at home, but we did overseed some rye in here last fall. Got a good bit of clover. There's only, I guess, 16 head in this bunch, so less than half as many as we have at the house, and they're less than half the size, so should be plenty of grazing they're gonna have in this pasture, basically, that they'll have access to right now. About 8 acres or so. Should be plenty for them for at least these next several days to coming weeks. We'll get this fence checked and get them turned out. So that little bit of fence looked to be in good shape. We checked the rest of the fences, I guess on Tuesday when we brought them in. So fence is in pretty good shape. This group appears to be relatively calm and settled. Appears to be relatively healthy. Got just a little bit of coughing, but everybody's still eating good. Ears up. We're gonna turn them out. I'm sure they're gonna be just about as excited as that cow herd was to be eating green grass other than hay. You don't want some grass? Come on. Young, come on out. Come on. Come on, y'all get out here and graze. Aside from having, you know, green grass not being a little better for them than just the hay in there, you know, getting them out of that pen, allowing them to spread out a little bit if there is a little bit of upper respiratory infection, something like shipping fever, kind of a broad term, allow them to spread out, you know, should help to avoid them continuing to spread that around. Obviously, as the world deals with coronavirus on the human side right now, a lot of the same practices, you know, with cattle helps to avoid them spreading respiratory infection. Everybody's excited, bucking around, playing. A few of the smarter ones going ahead and eating. All right, so as they walk off, the last of them there behind me, a little nerve-wracking. You know, I don't think they're going to get out. I don't think they're too wild, but we got to go on, head back to the house, finish up a few things with getting those others moved. We'll check back on these fellas later on today, this afternoon. Expect they should all still be here, but again, a little anxious when you first turn them out like that. And I don't know. We'll find out. There you are. In the process of moving pastures, it's always a little more challenging. These babies, they don't understand the process, certainly don't understand the concept of following a feed bucket or even what a gate is or an opening. Sadie, be quiet. So, got this girl and the mom will be right behind us. We'll get them moved and get them on that green pasture as well. So we got that mineral feeder loaded up and moved. Now this is one of probably about 4 or 5 different styles of feeder. This one just has this rubber kind of top where the cows come up and stick their nose in there, get a lick. Obviously drops back down, keeps it protected from the weather. We got the high mag mineral putting out right now. Okay, so just did a quick head count and looks like everybody is where they're supposed to be. We've got all these mamas, a few younger heifers moved into this pasture. Here Willis there, waiting on the side-by-side for me. Hope we can say the same about the stocker calves up the road when we check them this afternoon. I expect they probably still should be there, but there's Sadie. All right, so I believe this gal will probably be our next one to keg. You can see she's got a really big bag. She actually does not have a great bag, but really bagging up. Starting us a little swelling back there. Expect she'll, at least in these next few days, if not even possibly by the end of the day, have us a calf on the ground. Keep an eye on her. Again, I'm kind of a forage nerd, I guess, or becoming one. Just super excited about all this lush grazing they have. You obviously can't smell it on the video, but I mean, just taking in a deep breath and just really take in the smells. And I know, obviously, these girls are even more excited than I am. There we go, Sadie. You gonna crash into me? No. And some deer tracks out here. Obviously they've been enjoying all this clover and green mix. Yeah, I'm glad they saved a little for the cows at least. A few more. So I just showed you a few deer tracks, and there's obviously a pair of geese. Not uncommon for us to see. Actually, as many as 20 or so geese out here in this bottom. Really enjoy seeing the wildlife. Glad that they get to enjoy this as well. Well, a dreary morning has turned into a downright nasty afternoon, but we are headed down the road. Check on those stocker calves. Turned out this morning. Give them a little feed, try to make sure we can keep them trained coming into the catch pen there to a feed trough. And we'll hopefully be done with hanging out in this rainy weather for the rest of the day. All right, so a relatively welcome sight as we walk up. Yeah, not that we were too terribly worried about them getting out and running off, but you see, just behind the bulldozer there. Looks like they're here. See if we can get them to come up, eat a little feed. Okay, so now that's not what I wanted to see. They're going the other direction. But again, haven't gotten an exact count. Looks like we are all here. Just not real sure about coming back to the feed trough. All right, so it would have been really nice to have gotten them to come to the feed trough, come back in the pen, seen what it was all about, started to associate the person coming to see them every day with being fed. But they are, at least it appears. I've watched the video and see if we can count, get to 16, but looks like everybody's still here. So that is a good sign. We'll go ahead and put the feed out, leave it for the night. We're not gonna go chasing them through the woods, probably do more harm than good. All right, Sunday morning now. We got the horses fed, turned out. Got the bottle calves, Blue and Norman fed the feeder steers. Still not much light, check on the cows yet, but as I went to bed last night, the burning image in my mind was those stocker calves running off into the distance as we were there yesterday afternoon. So we're gonna head down there right now, try to be there right at first light. Be sure that everything's still good. I suspect it will be, but again, made it a little tough to go to sleep last night, a little less assuring, so we'll go make sure everything's good there. So fortunately, we're right here at the gate. Looks like see the yellow heads popping. They didn't go anywhere overnight. Wow, next challenge is see if we can get them to come in the pen and eat a little feed. All right, so they're still acting a little silly. Still not gonna come to a feed bucket and eat this morning, but they're still in the pasture. So we'll take it. And we got about, I think we had 1.5 inches of rain at the house. It's like nearly 2 inches here at this farm. So anybody that was worried about our mud drying out, your fears have been relieved. All right, so back here at the house checking on the cow herd, and what do you know, that cow we had talked about yesterday said looked like she was getting pretty close to being ready to calve. We do have a new calf on the ground there. So it looks like this little thing's a few hours old. We're gonna back away, we don't want to run mom off. Don't want to upset her. Looks like she's been pretty attentive. We'll leave them alone, worry about getting a tag in the ear later on. All right, so the rest of the cows all looking good, so that should just about wrap it up for our morning chores. I tell you, the temperatures dropped into the 40s after that cold front and rain moved through. Got a little bit of a north wind. It's just a little bit unpleasant out here after these last couple of weeks where we've been spoiled by some warmer than normal temperatures. Now our new baby's back up on his feet, getting a little breakfast. So we're not gonna bother him. Get out of here. That's an older cow. She knows what she's done. And she's not very happy with Sadie. And Sadie is not very cow smart at this point in her life. She's kind of oblivious to the fact that the cow is there and not very happy about her presence. Alright, so just pulled back up here at the gate. Stocker calves. See, they're actually right there at the pen. Looks like we even have a couple in the pen. That's a good sign. They've probably gone in there and eaten by now, got them a little more feed. See if we can finally get them to where they'll start actually coming in when they see me arrive. It's got everybody, but it's just this one loner. Went in there to eat, I believe, and as I back away, he'll probably go on in. It's a good sign. I'd kind of planned on dragging that feed trough out here just to where it was out more in the pasture where they maybe felt a little more comfortable with it. But as it turns out, they were all right here waiting, followed me right in, so I didn't even have to do that. And their last little buddy's gonna go on in. Unfortunately for him, it's probably gonna be thinking for him to eat by the time he gets over there, but no big deal. Maybe he'll be a little quicker. Go in next time. Now we're back here with the cow herd. Just gonna check on that newest calf, see if we get a tag and see her mother's coming there. Just want to show you how well these things are hidden, even these Hereford calves that you think would stick out like a sore thumb. I just happened to notice this one as we rode right by. Actually, hidden really well. Mama's done a good job tucking this calf away. We're gonna get in there if we can before Mom gets over here. See if we have a bull or a heifer. Get a tag in here. Whoa, baby. Bring this calf over here. Looks like another little heifer. So we're 3 for 3 on spring calves, all being heifers. Hold on, baby. Hold on, baby. Hold on, baby. We're not gonna hurt you. Well, now you're gonna get me in trouble with your mama. Quick little ear piercing. Okay. Okay. Go on, go see your mama. Go on, go see your mama. See Mom, she's not too upset, but also gonna check out what in the world was going on over here. So we'll leave them alone, leave them be. Got a few more evening chores to do, and I believe we'll call it a day. All right, so as we stand here right over the top of Hurricane Creek, after which the farm is obviously named, I think that'll about wrap up this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Enjoyed seeing all the cows, both the cow herd and the stocker calves, move to greener pastures. Got to meet a new heifer that was just born last night. I hope you tune in next time. Hope everybody stays safe. We appreciate you hitting the like, hitting the subscribe button. As always, we appreciate you eating beef, and God bless.